CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
The cleanup continues right across the region after the first two snowstorms of the season. Thanks for joining us. At first, it was a blast of snow, now frigid temperatures reaching -20 in some areas. Now, the city says it is on top of snow removals, but not all of it. CTV's Rob Cooper starts us off tonight.
City crews and even residents in Barrie are still catching up on all that snow that's fallen in recent days.
It's frozen, so you've got to break the ice up to get it out of the opening of your driveway. So it's quite a bit of work.
The city of Barrie prioritizes its 1,600 kilometers of roads that it clears. Busy roads like Dunlop and Bayfield Streets, high traffic volume roads, usually on bus lines, are done first. They're salted and can be cleared in about 6 hours. Side and residential streets are second in line and can take up to 24 hours to clear. These roads often get sand instead of salt and are cleared to a different standard.
Residentials are maintained to a snow-packed surface, so you're not going to see asphalt unless it really warms up. You'll see some sand going down on it for traction.
Friary says crews will try to clear those side streets overnight, but admits they can become messy when the temperature rises. Sidewalks are also tricky to clear for the city. There's about 600 kilometers of them in the city.
They're really hard to walk because, I serious citizen, I can't, it's hard for people to walk through it. I fell. I slipped and fell, but I was lucky. I never got hurt.
A common concern for property owners have to do with the mess plows can leave at the end of a driveway.
It's like a job to me now. You see me, I'm sweating.
A lot of work.
Yes, a lot of work, my bro.
Jay Friary says the city has investigated ways to remove what is often called windrows, but says that cost may be too much for the city to afford.
Probably in the neighborhood of $13 million to provide that service.
To put that in perspective, the city's snow removal budget is already over budget by about $3 million this year, sitting close to $9 million. Friary says his department will present that number to council this week. And a heads up for people in the city of Barrie, the city will be clearing snowbanks along Dunlop Street again tonight, second straight night. And for people on side streets, those vehicles have to be off the roads from midnight until 7 in the morning until the end of March. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
Ontario's largest ski resort, Blue Mountain, is gearing up to kick off the ski season tomorrow. Staff are busy putting the final touches on the slopes, testing lifts, and getting the mountain ready for your first runs of the season. It's supposed to start tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Now, speaking of starting bright and early, we could describe Casey Colby as being bright tonight. How does it feel out there?
It's crisp. It's marvelous out here as far as temperatures go. Okay, Sarah, let's talk about how fresh it is out here, because it is. It really has a certain freshness to it. Let's take a first look at the forecast, brought to you by Presler Injury Law. Call 1-800-JUSTICE. -8 is what it is right now, and thankfully the winds are calm. They're going to pick up as the evening progresses and change is introduced. This is a look at the temperature as we speak. -13, yeah, Gravenhurst. That's what the temperature is without the wind chill. -7 in Alliston, -9 in Mount Forest, -4 in Toronto, -9 in Owen Sound, and -8 in beautiful Collingwood. And okay, now that's looking like a few flurries, isn't it? Certainly on the far left-hand side, coming off the southern tip of Lake Huron and the southern tip of Georgian Bay. Looks like summer brewing, we might say. And coming up in just a few minutes' time, Sarah, today was the coldest day since last March. However, the cold seemingly is sticking around, and it's bringing its friend a little sunshine. No, a little snow first. I'll let you know when and where. All that coming up in a few minutes' time. Back inside.
Thanks, Case. A stretch of Highway 10 in the Markdale area has reopened after shutting down earlier today for a crash involving a school bus. Grey Bruce OPP were called to the scene between Side Road 60 and Side Road 80 in Chatsworth Township after reports of a school bus and a pickup truck colliding. 2 students were taken to hospital, a local hospital, with minor injuries, while a pickup truck driver was airlifted to the trauma center. An early morning fire kept 7 firefighters busy as crews arrived to find an 800-square-foot detached garage garage on Burnside Lane on fire. Located 100 meters behind the house, the structure houses small livestock, but the rabbits and chickens were in an untouched area and were safe. Damage is still being assessed and the cause of the fire is under investigation. Two 30-year-old men from Bradford have been identified as the victims of Sunday's fatal crash on Highway 400 in Vaughan. It happened around 3:45 a.m. in the northbound lanes near Major Mackenzie Drive. OPP say a transport truck and a ride-share car collided, killing the two passengers in the car. The driver, a 50-year-old man from Toronto, remains in critical condition. He's in hospital. The truck driver was not hurt.
We're reviewing camera footage as well of the situation to see exactly what took place. We don't believe it was any environmental factors. Roads were dry and bare at the time. It has started to snow beyond the time of the collision, so road conditions certainly have deteriorated, as a result of weather moving in. But apparently it was dry and bare, although obviously dark at just before 4 o'clock in the morning.
As the investigation is ongoing, anyone with information is asked to contact OPP. 13 people are now facing a total of 150 charges after a multi-jurisdictional police operation known as Project Wrangler.
This was not a traditional street gang, but rather a coalition of adult men from different groups and locations who would align themselves for profit-motivated violence. Over many months, we allege that individuals within this network coordinated and carried out numerous organized offenses, including homicide, attempt homicide, home invasions, armed robberies, firearms-related offenses, and a number of serious incidents across other jurisdictions outside of just the GTA.
Some of the more violent incidents include a shooting inside a crowded hospital emergency room in London and a home invasion in Vaughan where one person was shot inside a house. 2 suspects are still outstanding. Barrie police, meanwhile, have arrested and charged 3 people in connection with human trafficking after a victim came forward in September. A 24-year-old Barrie man, a 24-year-old Toronto man, and a 34-year-old man also from Toronto face multiple charges, and investigators say there may be more victims. One man charged with dangerous driving causing death and bodily harm after a crash that killed a woman and her 2 dogs will have to wait a little longer to find out if he'll be granted bail. CTV's Mike Arsulides reports.
Without a judge's order to bring him to court from jail in Penetanguishene today, Dan Rishi's bail review did not take place. The 35-year-old had been out on bail until earlier this year when he was charged with an alleged breach of his release conditions in Chatham while under the supervision of his mother. Rishi was under strict conditions at the time, including house arrest on a pledge of $75,000. After pleading guilty for failing to comply with a release order in August, Rishi was mistakenly released from jail without his GPS ankle monitor. Rishi was brought back before a Collingwood judge in September and taken back into custody, where he's been since. Rishi is charged with dangerous driving causing death and bodily harm, accused of driving 173 kilometers per hour with his 5 kids in the car before running a stop sign along the 9th concession in Clearview Township on the morning of September 23rd, 2023. The crash killed 31-year-old Katie Marshall and her 2 dogs and injured Marshall's husband, who was airlifted to hospital. Rishi has had about 6 different lawyers appear on his behalf in dozens of court appearances since his arrest in December of 2023. Wanted another shot at bail, but the hearing couldn't proceed without him in attendance. He was previously arrested by the OPP in February for failing to inform police of an address change. Investigators said at the time Rishi may have intended to flee. Katie Marshall worked as a security guard at RVH for years. She and her husband rode and cared for horses, her family seeking justice as Rishi fights for his release ahead of trial to be with his family. Rishi's bail review was adjourned to early in the new year. The allegations against him have not been tested in court. Mike Arsulides, CTV News, Barrie.
Daycares here in Ontario will soon have concrete barriers funded by the province in honor of a toddler who was killed after a car smashed into a Richmond Hill daycare earlier this year. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris reports.
It was a moment of unspeakable tragedy, hard to comprehend. A driver crashed through the window of a Richmond Hill daycare and barreled deep inside. 6 children and 3 adults were injured. A 17-month-old boy killed. Today, the provincial government took steps to prevent this kind of loss.
In Liam's honour, we are investing $20 million to launch the Liam Riazadi Memorial Fund.
This is a program aimed at daycare starting up early in the new year.
Community-based childcare operators will be able to access a simple application process that will make it easy for them to arrange the delivery and installation of the barriers that will be supplied free of charge.
Immediately after the crash, Calandra ordered parking lots in front of large windows like this one closed off. Operators have said they need help to improve safety.
$20 million really is a start. We wanted to be able to get out there and look at those locations that had the most pressing needs.
Open to adding more funding, while the government looks at other changes.
We'll be consulting with the sector to look at ways of improving safety and security outside and inside. Ultimately, I think in the long term, we're going to be looking at bollards and different ways of protecting the childcare centres.
Consultations are expected to take a few months, with legislation to follow. But Calandra says many operators have already made changes on their own. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Now, this could affect a number of daycares right here in our region, but now we're looking at the timeline for the changes. For more on that and what comes next, let's go to CTV's Jack Morris. He's been following this and joins us live tonight. Jack.
Well, Sarah, even though that money was announced today, you shouldn't expect to see bollards or barriers pop up for a little while at least. It'll be up to each daycare to decide if they can use barriers to improve the safety in their individual situation. For some, the barriers could cause more problems than they solve, forcing parents and kids to get out of their cars further away or in more dangerous places. Moreover, not all daycares will have the choice to install barriers. Most daycare operators don't own their properties and don't have much say on external modifications to their premises. That falls onto the landlords, and those building owners aren't under the purview of the Department of Education.
A landlord of a strip plaza is not accountable to the Ministry of Education. And in a lot of cases, the daycare itself has, contacted their landlord, asked for help, and, it's not necessarily forthcoming. So, I think we're probably, to fully address this risk, we're probably talking about, bylaws issues and urban planning issues, municipal issues, traffic calming measures, things along that line.
Daycares will also need to apply for money to install those barriers, so the barriers themselves, concrete barriers, are free. The Association of Daycare Operators of Ontario says building strikes in general are not uncommon, and regulating daycares isn't going to do anything to address that problem. Reporting live, I'm Jack Moore. Sarah, back to you.
More to follow there, I'm sure. Thanks, Jack. Now, holiday travelers, many are bracing for chaos at the airport as Air Transit begins suspending flights and pilots prepare to go on strike. CTV's Heather Wright has more on the potential work stoppage.
Travelers at Toronto's Pearson Airport checked into their flights this afternoon with an added bit of uncertainty.
A little bit nervous, but I'm hoping everything will be okay and we'll be home next Monday.
The union representing Air Transat's pilots has issued a 72-hour strike notice, with pilots poised to walk off the job early Wednesday morning if an agreement is not reached.
I mean, it is what it is. It's not really much we can do about it.
In anticipation of a strike, Air Transat has begun bringing its passengers back home. The airline says flights have been operating as usual today, but it's not clear whether flights will be canceled Tuesday, which the airline had said was possible. The two sides have been in negotiations for nearly a year, and experts say the timing of this strike notice is no accident.
They're doing this because this is the period of time where Transat is making its most money. It's the busiest time of the year for Transat. Planes are full, fares are high.
The two sides remain at the bargaining table, with ALPA, the Airline Pilots Association that represents the 700 Air Transat pilots, saying in a statement, while some progress has been made, there is still work to do. We are working tirelessly to reach an agreement that achieves the collective priorities of our group. Air Transat says it has offered its pilots wage increases of 59% over the next 5 years, a number the union has called creative accounting. The union's demands are considered unreasonable, and its premature actions carry serious consequences for customers, the company, and its 4,300 other employees. Air Transat has struggled financially over the last several years and has not turned an annual profit since 2018. Asked last week if the federal government would intervene if Air Transat pilots hit the picket line, Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu declined to answer, calling the question hypothetical. Ottawa did get involved in August when Air Canada flight attendants went on strike. A back-to-work order the union ignored. Heather Wright, CTV News, Mississauga, Ontario.
Finally, Barrie Colts fans have a reason to celebrate, a couple of them actually, because both co-captains are headed to Team Canada's training camp for the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championships. CTV's Luke Samard has more on the names that are joining the roster.
On defense, from Toronto, Ontario, and the Barrie Colts, Kayshawn Aitchison. From Canada, Ontario, and the Barrie Colts, Cole Baudouin.
For the second year in a row, the Barrie Colts will have two players representing Team Canada on the national stage at this year's World Junior Tournament in Minnesota. Defenseman Kayshawn Aitchison will represent Team Canada at the Under-20 tournament for the first time.
You kind of dream of these kind of big moments to prove yourself and hopefully play for your country in front of the whole world. And yeah, it's always been a dream.
Forward Cole Baudouin will represent Canada for a second time, being a part of last year's team that lost in the quarterfinals.
It's super exciting, and obviously last year, unfortunately ending, so I have a lot of revenge, and I want to get back there and win a gold medal.
Barrie Colts general manager Marty Williamson not surprised the two OHL stars got the call from Team Canada.
At the gym, every day in practice, you know, they just keep trying to get better, and it's not just a cliche with them. It's their actual focus of whether it's their diet, whether it's their body, you know, whether it's their mental approach to the game. They're always trying to get better, and they keep pushing everybody in that dressing room.
The co-captains ready to lean on each other for the best-on-best tournament.
We came in at the same year, have been battling since day one together, so to see his journey, to see how well he's done, to see him get drafted last year, I'm super excited for him, and to be able to go with him, it's I can't wait.
We've kind of always been there to lean on each other, and yeah, I'm definitely going to be leaning on him in this situation. He's been there before. He's played in the big moments.
Aitchison and Baudouin will depart for Niagara Falls this Friday, and if they do in fact make Team Canada, will be away from the Colts until the tournament is over. Luke Samard, CTV News, Barrie.
Still to come, holiday spirit took over our region this weekend from a surprise visit by, there he is, said to himself, returning to Moonstone for the first time in a few years, to Shanty Bay Golf Club, taking a swing at holiday giving with a special donation to our Toy Mountain campaign. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie. First up, as we round up the weekend, the Barrie Public Library turned the page to fun, welcoming readers and writers alike for a local author book market. Let's check out who stopped by.
The wonderful thing about supporting local is that you're getting a chance to potentially read your neighbor's book, your family or friend's book.
I've got books on penguins and all kinds of other cool animals, and then there's coloring sheets and videos that interact with the book so that you can be engaged on multiple different levels.
The hero of the story is actually a 7-year-old girl. The story is about a village. They provide everything that each other needs, but they're plagued by these creatures called the Screech.
Hi, I'm Mike Walden, author of the APOC trilogy. I almost died in a car accident. I was training for a triathlon, and the doctors didn't think I was going to recover. Or ever be a police officer again. So they asked me, you know, I don't think you're ever going to be a cop. What are you going to do? And I was writing this book just as entertainment for myself, and I dove headfirst into it, and I haven't looked back since.
In this book, there are QR codes that you can scan, and you'll hear me singing, and I'm going to sing you guys one of the songs. Scruffy wiggling doggy was dancing all around. Then his pants fell from his waist, but he didn't even know. Some folks were all around, but who he wanted to impress. But he ended up depressed as they laughed and laughed and laughed.
Isn't that lovely? 3,000. Library staff see nearly 3,000 visitors attend that event every year. Orma Dante's holiday giving weekend saw dozens head over to Fire Station number 3 for a community food drive.
We're doing our annual food drive. We've been involved with the food drive and the Homeowners Association and the Salvation Army for many years. Basically, people can come through the fire hall, stop and say hello if they wish, and drop some food off.
Started, in somebody's garage, and it's grown over the years. During COVID, it got moved indoors into the fire hall, and this has become, our central gathering place since.
There are so many people that are in need, and that number keeps growing every year. And so the opportunity to be able to provide groceries to people on a regular basis throughout the year, and especially at Christmas time, to be able to provide a meal for the holidays.
Oro-Medonte Fire and Emergency Services and the Horseshoe Valley Property Owners Association teamed up to collect non-perishable food items for the Aurelia Salvation Army and the Sharing Place. For the first time in years, the big man in red made a visit to Moonstone, and the small town community came out in crowds to greet him.
Here's the good news! Ho, ho, ho!
In this area for 30 years, and it was a great tradition for my kids growing up to have the parade go right by your house at the end of your street in a small neighborhood. It's just so awesome for the kids.
So excited!
Excited?
Hey, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
Because it's a perfect winter day for a parade, and while it used to be a long-standing tradition, the last few years we haven't been able to have the parade, so we're thrilled to get the community together and let all the kids see that Santa's coming, and we're collecting letters for Santa.
More than 20 festive floats rolled through, packed with lights, music, and holiday spirit. Organizers say they're thrilled with the turnout and hope this parade can become an annual tradition once again. Shanty Bay Golf Club swing into the holiday spirit this weekend, joining our Toy Mountain campaign for the first time, and their toy drop was quite a hit.
There were 2 empty boxes this morning, and I'd say we've had probably over 200 people here today. And I think we're really lucky that the boxes are filled and the donation box is filled. There's a hockey net underneath here. There's stuffed animals, cars, puzzles, snowboards, a lot of things. People were very generous. Some people came in with more than two gifts, so I think we're really fortunate to get this done today. Over the last year, food prices have gone up, coffee's gone up, fuel, rent, entertainment, what have you, and a lot of people can't afford to buy those things, let alone gifts for their children and their teens. So it only makes sense that we open this up to people today so they can donate.
Staff say they're already excited to team up again next year, keeping the donations and the cheer going strong. We have less than 2 weeks left in the 2025 CTV Toy Mountain campaign, and of course we can't do it without you, our viewers, and the generous support from local toy companies. Simcoe Muskoka Family Connections in Barrie was a buzzing spot this week as Mattel made their Toy Mountain donation. Hundreds of toys are now headed to local families for the holidays. For a closer look at what Mattel donated, here's CTV's Luc Simard.
Tonight in the Access Storage Toy Shop, we are going to be showing you toys for all ages thanks to Mattel. And of course, we're going to start in the land of smiles, sunshines, and rainbows. Yes, we're talking about Barbie. Inspiring young girls in the competitive world, Barbie Tim Hortons PWHL doll encourages young girls to explore, try new things, and see limitless possibilities, including becoming a hockey player. Barbie is ready to hit the ice and play. Tim Hortons PWHL Barbie doll makes a perfect gift for any aspiring hockey fans, designed for kids aged 3 and up. Drive into battle with this large-scale dragon hauler that features an additional detachable dragon that eats toy vehicles. After knocking out cars with the fire-breathing dragon, unlock the smaller dragon and transform it into a racetrack. Press the button to make its wings move and emulate a real dragon, then swoop in to make it eat the cars and return to base, release the vehicles into the launchers where they can take on side-by-side tracks. The hauler includes 2 scaled cars but can hold up to 20. This Bite and Blast Mosasaurus dinosaur action figure with its distinctive aquatic design brings the excitement of Jurassic World Rebirth home. A button-activated bite feature allows dramatic reenactment or movie scenes and inspires creative play. Kids can control the attack by holding the tail and pressing the button to make the jaw open wide to bite, The mini Dilophosaurus figure that's included can be completely swallowed into the large Mosasaurus body. Makes a great gift for kids 4 and up. Minecraft fans will love the element of surprise. The My Pet Creeper toy holds with lights, sounds, and an exploring feature. The interactive action is controlled with 2 buttons. Press the front button on the figure's head to change the mob's colored lights and attitude with 3 expressions in a breakaway explosion. Press the back button for additional lights and sounds, or keep pressing to transform a charged creeper with new electric sounds and blue lights. There's even a secret reaction to be found. Less than 130 models were ever produced, but now it's yours to build. Enter the fully buildable 1/16 scale Corvette Grand Sport by Mattel. This detailed and authentic set includes extra parts for customization, metal wheel covers, a decal sheet, signature plate, plus an exclusive metal car to collect and display. Collect all the cars in the Elite Series and build your garage. The Laugh and Learn 4-in-1 activity table and easel grows with your child from baby to toddler, transforming from a busy board to an activity table, play table, and real art easel. With 3 smart stages, 135 songs, sounds, and phrases, plus multilingual options. This interactive toy sparks creativity and learning through lights, music, hands-on fun. Perfect for ages 6 to 36 months. Now all of these awesome toys from Mattel will help us build our toy mountain. In the Access Storage Toy Shop, I'm Luke Simard.
There we go. It had been too long since we heard Luke say Toy Mountain. A reminder that you can drop off a new unwrapped toy or gift card here at the CTV station. You can find us on Beacon Road, 33 Beacon Road to be exact. We've got a toy box just outside the front door, and if you can't make it in person, you can always hop online, ctvberry.ca, and that click turns into toys for local children. Still to come, a birthday certainly fit for a milestone celebration. We'll take you to Midland, where a Second World War Navy veteran had quite a number of candles to blow out, metaphorically, of course. But first, let's check in with Case in the Garden.
Christmas card alert, Christmas card alert. Tomorrow is National Christmas Card Day. Make sure you get them in the mail. Yeah, because Christmas is coming, and our weather watcher artiste, well, have a look. Michaela says, I love Canada, and I love Canadian winters. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 1041 and Pure Country 106.
We are celebrating all of that holiday sparkle, lights, decor, and festive displays. Keep those photos coming. CTV, picture this at ctv.ca. Casey Colby, this is the first time that I've seen this Christmas cow before. He or she has not yet been named. Is that a tongue or a scarf?
It can be anything you want it to be, Sarah. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. It's time of magic.
What are you calling her? I'm thinking that because of all of the bells, it could be Jingle the Christmas cow. What do people at home think? Send us your ideas for the Christmas cow, unless you have one picked, Case.
No, I do not. No? I'm open for interpretation. Open for interpretation.
All right, I'll leave it there.
Okay, yes. Keep your cows warm. Bring the cows in. That's what you have to do. A Christmas cow. Why not? It's certainly Christmassy weather out here, isn't it? It certainly is wintry weather out here. Let's continue on right now with the forecast, and here we go. Yeah, there we go. It looks like minus 15. That's without the wind chill in Gravenhurst. Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, cold spot today in our region, minus 29 in Owen Sound this morning, okay? That's pretty cold with the wind chill, of course. This is a look at the almanac, minus 8, minus 20. Minus 8 not too long ago, as a matter of fact, for our high. A record 12 degrees in, make that 1991, and minus 24.2 in 2010. Sunrise, sunset, 8 hours, 56 minutes of daylight. Roll that forecast radar. More snow in the forecast? Indeed there is. And here it comes. Yeah, in varying amounts. Some get a little more, some get just a little dusting. Let's continue on. This is the southern tip of Georgian Bay Lake Simcoe. Overnight temperatures, wind chill, minus 18. Mainly cloudy. Some flurries will start a little later on this evening. I'm thinking closer to midnight. And 2 centimeters in total for this evening. For tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies. And minus 1, minus 2 for the highs. 2 to 4 centimeters of additional snowfall anticipated. Okay. Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, minus 18 with the wind chill this evening as well. Partly cloudy skies for tonight. And then for tomorrow, increasing cloud cover and some flurry activity, 2 to 4 centimeters anticipated for tomorrow. This is Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton. Yeah, minus 21 with the wind chill this evening, coldest area in our region. Increasing cloud cover and 2 to 4 centimeters of snow anticipated after midnight. And then for tomorrow, minus 2, minus 3 for the high, mainly cloudy skies. An additional 5 to 10 centimeters, it looks like, in Parry Sound, Huntsville, and Bracebridge. And I don't think it's going to stretch down as far as Gravenhurst. I think only 2 to 4 centimeters of snow there, and just a good chance of a dusting in Halliburton for tomorrow. That's tonight and tomorrow. Now, time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast. More snow, you say? Why, yes. Wednesday, it's looking like 5 to 10 centimeters of snow in our region for Simcoe County. 0 for the high. Minus 6 on Thursday. There's, yes, cloudy skies and chances of some flurry activity. And Friday and Saturday, well, Friday looks like sun cloud and just a 40% chance of flurry activity, minus 3, and sliding down cooler on Saturday, cloudy, 60% chance of flurries, minus 7. This is the 5-day extended forecast for York region. Wednesday, 5 to 10 centimeters of snow and or some rain mix, okay? That's a sloppy mix. Sure is. Thursday, it's getting cool. Flurries anticipated, minus 4. Yeah, and then minus 2 on Friday. It looks like a sun-cloud mix and just a slight chance of a flurry or 2. Saturday, 60% chance of flurries, minus 4. This is Muskoka, Parry Sound, Halliburton. We're anticipating 5 additional centimeters of snow come Wednesday. Minus 1, not quite to the freezing mark, but minus 1 and 5 centimeters of additional snowfall. Looks like sun and cloud wrestling for the sky on Thursday, trying to keep warm. Minus 8 for the high. There's 40% chance of some flurries. Look at that, minus 15 overnight. And then Friday comes cloudy, 40% chance of flurries, and 60% chance of flurries on the Saturday. So that is your 5-day extended forecast, Sarah. We got to keep warm. Wear your scarf. Wear your scarf, Sarah.
So it is a scarf. There we go. Question answered. A birthday bash was held today, a century-sized party to mark a major milestone.
Happy birthday, dear Ward. Happy birthday to you.
And cheers to Ward. Happy birthday, Ward. We love you.
Happy birthday.
Second World War Navy veteran Warden Shaw was treated to a day full of festivities as his friends and family came together in Midland to wish him a happy 100th birthday. Held at the Chartwell Tiffin Retirement Residence, there were photos of what the world looked like back in 1925, a special bagpipes performance, and of course, plenty of treats and birthday cake.
Are we having a party? Yeah. Okay.
For who? For you?
Yeah. Everybody's talking, sitting, shaking my hand, wishing me a happy birthday. That's nice.
It doesn't feel like he's 100. He doesn't look 100, and he's active. His mental capacities are great, and he's busy and he's happy.
Ward says joining the Navy was a big change and a lot of hard work, but a good experience. Now he incorporates that discipline into his daily life with a routine, taking things day by day at his own pace. Happy birthday, Ward, from all of us here at CTV. Coming up next, for avid watchers of Jeopardy, you may feel like you're seeing double, but no. Twins from Ontario are making their mark on the famous game show. More on that, plus we'll recap tonight's top stories. Stay with us.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And this week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see the Guess Who.
Yeah, we're going to alphabetize some songs, and if you can identify them, first caller in win.
So tune in weekdays 5:30 to 10 for your chance to play and win.
Recapping our top stories, without a judge's order to bring him to court from jail at Penetanguishene today, Dan Rishi's bail review did not take place. Rishi is charged with dangerous driving, causing death and bodily harm, accused of driving 173 kilometers per hour with his 5 kids in the car before running a stop sign in Clearview Township in 2023, killing a woman and her 2 dogs. The city of Barrie is continuing to clean up all that snow that was left behind after those snowfalls of the season. The first crews prioritized the city's 1,600 kilometers of roads, clearing high traffic volume roads on a bus line first. Side and residential streets are second in line and can take up to 24 hours to clear. And Barrie Colts co-captains Keishan Aitchison and Cole Baudouin will be representing Team Canada at this year's World Junior Tournament in Minnesota. Aitchison will make his debut while Baudouin is returning for a second time after taking part last year when Team Canada lost in the quarterfinals. A new survey reveals many Canadians are doubtful about the impact of the 2025 federal budget on their finances. According to the Nanos survey conducted for CTV News, less than 1 in 5 respondents think the government's fiscal plan will provide them with any financial relief. More than 1 in 3 even believe the budget could actually make their personal finances worse. The budget legislation is still stuck in the House of Commons, facing debate and several hurdles before it can become law. With only 1 week left in this year's sitting, time is running out for lawmakers to reach an agreement. The final interest rate decision of the year is coming this Wednesday, and analysts are not predicting any changes.
Levels matter, though. Let's keep in mind that the interest rate is at 2.25%, and that's at the very bottom end of their range of the neutral rate. So I think their attitude is we already were and will continue to be providing stimulus to the economy. The last thing we heard from them at the last setting is if the world unfolds the way we forecast, then we're going to stay at this 2.25 for quite some time.
Strong job reports and a surprising 2.6% annualized growth in third quarter GDP are some of the reasons why most economists believe the rates will be held to the end of the year. President Donald Trump is promising that Canada and the United States will work out their differences on trade eventually.
We spoke for a half hour. Very good, very productive. Talked mostly trade.
Will you restart negotiations with Canada?
Oh, well, look, I have a great relationship with Canada. They're very tough traders, but I have a very good relationship with the Prime Minister and with Canada.
At the Kennedy Awards red carpet, Trump commented on talks he held last week with Prime Minister Mark Carney during the FIFA World Cup draw. This comes after Trump canceled trade negotiations with us here in Canada back in October. Canada's main stock index started the week in the red, dragged down by telecom, utility and energy stocks. Let's go and take a look at where the markets closed on this Monday. The TSX was down 141 points, the Dow was down 215, and the Nasdaq was down 32. And commodities oil was down, closing at $58.88 a barrel. Gold was down, finishing at $4,217 an ounce, and our dollar was up, ending the day at 72.27 cents U.S. In a dramatic twist, just days after Netflix announced a $72 billion deal to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, Paramount has now jumped in with a hostile takeover bid for the company behind DC Studios, Harry Potter, and HBO Max. Paramount says it's taking its $30 U.S. per share offer directly to shareholders, higher than Netflix's bid, which works out to just under $28 per share. Unlike the Netflix deal, Paramount's proposal would also include Warner Brothers cable assets such as CNN. The company is slamming Netflix's offer, arguing it would force shareholders into a long, uncertain approval process. Countless Canadians have won on Jeopardy, but now viewers might have to do a double take. 2 years ago, Thunder Bay's Ray Lalonde triumphed, and now his identical twin, Ron, is ready to take the spotlight. Here's CTV's John Venevali-Rao with the story of this talented family.
Incredible, just incredible.
We asked Ray Lalonde what it was like when he was first on Jeopardy back in 2023 and had a remarkable winning streak.
I won 13 games in a row.
It was something only about a dozen contestants had ever done in the 60-year history of the game. And now Ray and his brother making more Jeopardy history.
Honestly, it's a little surreal.
A medical physicist from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Ron Lalonde.
Surreal because that is Ray's twin, who's been on the show this month.
And if our champion, Ron Lalonde, looks familiar to you, that's not just deja vu. You're thinking of his identical twin brother, Ray, who was also a Jeopardy champion.
The pair were raised in Thunder Bay and came from a family of 7 kids. Ron says they grew up watching Jeopardy long before Alex Trebek was the host.
My mother's a huge fan, and so we watched that pretty much every night in the old Art Fleming days back in the 70s.
The brothers have an amazing ability to remember trivia, and when Ray got on the show, Ron decided to keep trying himself to be a contestant.
And having the same kind of mind, I figured I'd do pretty well as well, so wanted to have that chance.
In the family.
Host Ken Jennings joking that Ron could in fact be Ray trying to get back on the show.
Is there a way to prove that you are not, in fact, Ray Lalonde, inventing a twin just to get a second crack at Jeopardy?
He's here.
He's here today. Hi, Ray.
Ray says it's been fun to see his brother compete.
My friends are calling me up going, I can't believe I almost thought that was you on TV again.
And while twins have been on Jeopardy before, Ron and Ray are the first to both win multiple games. And they say they have siblings that are even smarter.
Ron.
What are rocking chairs?
That's right.
Encouraging them to also try out for the show. John Venevalley-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
Very cool. Still to come, Golden Globe nods are in, and there's quite a few firsts for artists receiving nominations. We'll let you know what you can expect ahead of the January awards show next here on CTV Barrie. Time now to take a look at your Monday night primetime lineup. Philadelphia versus Los Angeles. The NFL football game starts at 8:15, and CTV News Barrie will air once the game wraps up, roughly 11:15. Welcome back. Canadian singer Michael Bublé was in Vatican City to perform for Pope Francis and for thousands of vulnerable community members.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
I was listening to that earlier today. The annual Concert with the Poor event aims to provide an experience of art and culture for those facing hardships, including people experiencing homelessness and migrants. Packed meals and other essential comfort items were distributed to the 3,000 guests. The nominations for the 83rd annual Golden Globes have been announced.
Best performance in a stand-up comedy or on television. Bill Maher. Is anyone else seeing this? HBO Max.
Along with that, Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another and Joachim Trier's Sentimental Value each snagged 6 nominations. Korean-Canadian director Maggie Kang also earned a Golden Globes nod for Best Animated Feature for her debut film, K-Pop Demon Hunters. There was a surprise winner at the box office as sequels once again reigned supreme over the weekend.
Come find us. I will show you the way.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 roared past expectations in its opening weekend, scaring up $63 million U.S. across North America. Zootopia 2 also held strong, slipping from the top spot, but still earning $43 million. And Wicked for Good landed in 3rd place. A concert trade publication has released a list of the most popular touring artists of the last 2 decades based on ticket sales. Let's take a look. Top of Polestar's list is Coldplay with 24.8 million tickets sold. U2 takes 2nd place with 20.2 million, and Ed Sheeran rounds out the top 3 with 19.6 million. The top 5 is completed by Dave Matthews Band and Taylor Swift, but keep in mind Swift's debut album didn't come out until 2006, and ticket sales numbers differ from total money grossed. All right, Case, did you come up with a name for your Christmas cow?
I loved yours.
Jingles?
I love jingles. I love that. That's perfect. It's got a little bell on it here.
Oh.
Can you hear that?
Jingles it is.
Jingles it is. Get up and go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. First thing tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Looks like about, call it -8 and cloudy skies in Barrie. Looks like -9 and cloudy skies in Newmarket. And -10 at 7 o'clock in the morning and mainly cloudy skies in Gravenhurst. That's the Get Up and Go, Sarah. Have yourself a fantastic evening from me and Jingles.
Love the look at that. Thanks so much to everyone at home for starting your week with us here on CTV Barrie. I'm Sarah Friedmark, and Jack will wrap things up tonight at 11. Take care.